Hello and welcome to another edition of the New Watchers on the Wall. Today, incredibly excited to go live with you guys. As we said we were going to do, we're just reaching back, baby.
Yes,
Going back, starting at season one,
where it all started,
where it
where it
all
all
started,
began.
where it got us hooked. And you know the cool thing about this, and I don't know if you remember this, Candace. We were one of the channels that started covering this show during season one.
Right. We were.
Yep.
We were.
We
We
were there
were.
from the very beginning. So today we're discussing from season one, episode 2, and we're diving in, just kind of reflecting because it's been such a long time since we've watched season one, and also just to be able to look at the progression of the characters and
And
stuff.
also there's stuff that we because we've watched all 3 seasons,
Yes,
maybe more than once. There's stuff that we picked up on, as we're watching, it again.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
So it's exciting to just kind of revisit the show and things like that, just to kind of see what our perspective is and has anything changed or anything like that. So this
No,
episode,
I still think Fatima's a creep.
if we got to say that for episode 3 for the people, we gonna share that. But let's get into it. So this episode, it starts off and we see Kenny. He's cutting down that tree, and it's kind of like foreshadowing because I don't. Do we know why he's cutting down the tree just yet?
I mean, we can guess because of, well, no.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
But he's cutting down that tree, and this is how the episode starts. And we know we eventually find out it's because of Sarah, and we got a lot to say about Sarah. But
And even just watching this part with him cutting down the tree,
mhm,
and I see it with whole new eyes, and I can really when we first watched this show, we're just getting introduced to the characters and we fall in love with them.
yes,
Now, watching these characters, you grow a deeper appreciation for them and understanding of them. And watching Kenny cut down that tree, and it's like, oh, Kenny, man, like, oh, this is it. That's a rough go of it. He's had a rough go of it, and
mhm,
losing his spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert,
mhm.
watchers, but losing his dad, and then
And it's the way that he
you
lost
know
him because
the way that he
that he
lost
lost him.
them.
And we're gonna talk about that because not only did he lose him in a certain way, it's the way that Sarah went about the town acting like nothing happened. And we eventually find out how they're going to think that their father was the reason that those things happened, but it really wasn't. So then the episode transitions to the van because Boyd, um, Jim, Ethan, and all of
And
them
Christy.
and Chrissy, they're in the camper because they were not able to remove Ethan at that time. So they got to take care of him.
Right.
And the crazy thing is Jim tries to get wild. He's like, I hear people knocking on the door. He's like, let these people in.
For
Let these
what?
people
What
in.
are they gonna do, Jim?
But he doesn't know that they're monsters.
Right.
He's thinking they're coming to help us.
And this is the first time that they've ever had to be in like a small enclosed like a vehicle with a talisman.
Yes,
So
it sure was.
this is freaking Christy out because she's outside, basically outside, and they're hoping that this talisman is gonna work in this vehicle.
They are. And the thing is that tripped me out, and this was like the start of something that is going to become a trend of Jim essentially getting punked and getting his butt whooped. So Boyd has to put Jim in a headlock because he's like, bro,
in a sleeper hole.
yeah, he's like, bro, you don't know what you're doing. These are not regular people. And if you're joining us today, don't forget to leave a comment so that we could know that you're there. Give us a shout out and say what's up to us.
Yes,
and
please.
we see, and it's interesting that that's happening. And then the scene also then transitions, and this is when we see the rest of the people who were able to get away from the van. They're trying to run to the colony house
because remember the spikes. They put the spikes down, and then they got noticed that there was a car accident, and they forgot to pull them up.
Yes,
because usually they put the spikes down to before dark to so they can get the people who is ever driving around inside, and they forgot.
And the thing that's cool too is the pacing, right? Because From does a good job in season one of not overdoing the jump scares, not overdoing the monsters, and really also doing a good job of showing the characters' emotions and their experiences of what's going on. So we see them all, running to the colony house as a group, trying to get over. Everybody's in distress. Jade is still unconscious from his drugs and stuff. And they yell, "Runners on the hill, runners on the hill," ring that bell in the colony house. And this was the part that was interesting to me. So they make it to the door, and colony house is like, "Well, we're not opening this damn door," and they start to protect the door. And Donna has to run downstairs, and she's like, "Yo, we got to open this door." And then Fatima, of course, is like, "My baby's outside.
My
My man is outside. You can't sit up here and hold us out." And then this is when we get some foreshadowing. And what's up, Nick Key? She said, "What's up to us?" Give you a shout out. What's up? We're covering the show again. We're back at it because we love it so much. And then also we're going to be covering, what's the other show we're covering?
Interview with the Vampire.
Kenneth got me into it.
I am giving him a baptism into the immortal universe.
Yes, and I'm excited about it because I watched episode 1, and Candace does a good job of picking shows. She told me to watch Game of Thrones 50 years ago, and it took me forever to watch it. But we get some foreshadowing because they're on the porch, and those monsters are wrapping the corner, and this is when we see one of the monsters, and he's like, "Hey," he knows her name. He calls her by name, and it makes me wonder in retrospect. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you've been watching the show, and this is not a spoiler alert. But in the last season, we learned that Julie was a what did they call it? A walker? What did she call it? A time walker? What was the thing she was called? In the comments, put it. What was she there?
To do with she can go
back and forth through time.
Yeah, she can go back and forth through time, and she can jump timelines. Yeah, basically.
And if you're watching, what is that name so we can put it up? But it makes me wonder when I see this. Is that why this dude recognized her? Because does he recognize her from another timeline?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we kind of know that. And then Nikki said, she said, "I tried to watch the first season interview, but couldn't get into it."
What? Yeah, come on.
I know, right? But I've only watched episode 1 so far, and I like it more this time around. I tried to watch it like 3 or 4 months ago, and I was like, I don't know about this, but I'm enjoying it now more. But it makes me wonder, was she ghost walking and she knew whatever the walking term was? And is that how she knew this dude? Because he definitely knew her name.
Right.
And they eventually let him in. But another thing that was interesting about the scene is, why does Kenny even shoot this dude? Well, maybe Kenny shoots him.
Down.
There we go. Thank you,
walker.
Ray. Julie is a story walker. Thank you.
A story walker.
Story walker.
Ethan's the one who tells her that that's what she is, right?
Yes. And the interesting thing is that Kenny shoots him, and Kenny knows it's not going to work, but maybe they did that for us. And Nick said, "Yes, story walker. Thank you so much." And maybe they did that for us so that we could see that the bullets don't hurt the monsters, because definitely Kenny would know that the bullets don't work, right? So they let him in colony house. What were your thoughts when they let him in and they tied him up?
Okay, so a couple things. I was right. Okay, so while watching this, I was thinking to myself, again, why are there so many people in that house? That is dangerous. Okay, and I remember thinking that the first time I saw that. So again, that popped up in my head, and I know you have to have protocols for safety and things, but you have to keep in mind that this is the first time these people they don't know what is going on, right? They don't know what they walked into.
Yes.
So to put them in a position like that, if you see them walking around and doing, obviously they're not monsters, right? They can't be turned into monsters. So, but I just thought about it. They've never seen these people before.
Yeah, they've never seen them.
Okay,
so check this out. Let me ask you guys a question. What did y'all think about them tying them up? Because
tie them up together.
Thank you. I was just about to say that. Yes, because I do agree. These people are probably going to be very irrational, and you don't want to compromise the safety of the colony house. So I would understand why you would need to quarantine them or whatever, right?
Okay, Nick said we all knew Colony House would be a disaster, but they wanted to smoke weed and have orgies. Right.
But we're gonna talk about that for episode
Do
3
your
in the video.
thing.
You guys are gonna love the video we're gonna drop midweek about this. That
Mhm.
and when we start talking about
All
episode
about
3.
orgies.
Yes.
Mhm.
But what are your thoughts? And I agree with you, Candace. I don't think it was fair to separate them, especially to separate a mother from her daughter, her child.
Absolutely
And
not.
if you were going to quarantine them, which I understand, they should have been quarantined, tied up in the same room, or why even tie them up? Just put them in the room and have somebody monitoring them. Because to me, that is not the first type of introduction that you want them to have, to be tied up. I'm soaking wet. I don't know what's going on. My kid has a fucking tree in his leg. I got separated from my spouse. I had to leave my other kid. I don't know about this,
And
right?
you got to remember, Tabitha lost a child. She just lost a child. So
Yes.
she's not in her right. I mean, emotionally is all over the place when it comes to her family.
Yep.
But again, they don't know that, you know?
Yeah. And Nick said the quarantine was whack. No point to it. Yeah. The only reason I could get with it was that you don't know what these people are going to do, if somebody's going to run outside and try to open the door again, because they don't know, right? But I don't like that they separated them, especially since they were minors and children. But maybe Donna doesn't care about that kind of stuff, because she does do something in episode 3, which is ridiculous. I can't wait to talk about.
Right.
So even Ellis is kind of like, why are we tying these folks up? Look at the look on his face. Ellis is like, come on, man. Why are we tying these folks up like this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then it moves on. That, you know, of course, they're panicking. It transitions back to Ethan, and they're trying to get him together, of course, right? He's still got that thing in his leg, and they're trying to get him together, trying to pull it out and get him right. Of course, they're going to tie up Jade. They tie him up as well. And this is when we see kind of like an interesting conversation between Donna and why am I drawing a blank on her name? Tabitha. And we see that they're getting ready to have like a conversation. And of course, she's like, why do you have me tied up like this? You know what I'm saying? And this is when we get a good introduction.
Can we go back to
Go ahead.
So when, I guess we're not there yet, but the conversation that they have, I guess, to introduce Tabitha to what is actually happening here,
yes,
is very interesting to me. It because before you kind of, you know, the monsters, they kill people, but the way she describes it of what they actually do, it's not a quick kill. And we find that out later on in the other seasons, but it's not a quick kill. She basically said they play with you, like they play with their food or whatever. And that, putting the image of a little girl and then that aspect together is it's terrifying.
Yes.
That's the first time, like, watching a show again where I was like, oh my God, like that is like, oh my God. And how there's no place, they were just hiding in bushes. Can you imagine being in this situation and you had no talisman? You had to hide in like holes, bushes. And again, so all of this stuff is making me think again, just watching this. And I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So then this is when we're introduced to Victor. And once again, this kind of goes to my point. Why is this child separated from her mom, tied up in a freaking kitchen? But of course, maybe this is done so that we can get the introduction between Victor and her.
Full of grown people, grown men.
Yes.
Just tied up.
Just tied up.
What kind of crazy shit is this?
And Victor's Victor's in there talking about peaches and shit. And we get to kind of starting to also see Victor's shortcomings, right? Because in some ways he has the mind of a child. He's like, well, she kind of lets me sneak peaches occasionally. Yeah. And you know, we could kind of
I mean, a grown man, Victor was creepy. You have to be honest. Victor was creepy, right? You don't know what is going on with Victor. One thing I did not, the scene that really pissed me off is that Fatima. You're supposed to be all love and light and all this other stuff. And the way she's talking to Victor is so messed up.
Condescending.
Even just watching the rest of the season and just seeing like, why was she talking to him like that?
Yeah.
Like he's creepy. No, he's been here since he was a child. Of course he's going to be creepy. Yeah. Like I just did that, really rubbed me the wrong way.
I agree. But then also, and we're not going to give it away because we're going to talk about Fatima in our next video midweek. And then also she's going to be in episode 3 too. But we're starting to see some behaviors from Fatima that if you go back to our videos from season 1, we were thoroughly concerned about her behavior three years ago when we were reviewing the show.
I wish we
Because
could insert a clip.
I will in the next video. But we see Fatima, she starts trying to build some kind of relationship with her. Go ahead, get that one,
She
Candace.
said, Nick, I love Donna's character, but she would have to catch hands about my child.
Yeah, I can't
Absolutely.
let you tie me up. And if nothing else, I'd be like, look, put us together. It's no way I would have, but but then the other thing I think this is important too is that we're going to discover in episode 3, they let Julie make a decision as if she's an adult. But then you separate her from her mother. And the only reason I could think that Donna would separate her from her daughter was that Donna didn't feel like she was old enough to hear the conversation that she was about to have with her. But if that is the case, then why do we see what happened in season 3, which we'll talk about more later? So Fatima just kind of talking to her, building a rapport and a relationship, and it transitions to Fatima is now showing her bedroom, and
we're gonna smile. Look at her creepy little smile.
And we're gonna talk about that some more because I never there's some things I don't quite understand about that. So she shows her a bedroom, and she's
look at her. Look at how she's leaning against the door.
Yes. And then she said another reason for Donna to catch. She said exactly because first of all, we love this damn show, okay?
Yeah.
But we like to just talk about different things. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't play about our kids. I'm not letting it happen. So now it is the next morning. Ethan is doing better. They're checking on him, and this is when we see a conversation between Father Khatri, and then they're also coming in, and Kenny's in there, and they're kind of having a conversation with them, because this is when we also get an opportunity to see how there is truly a rift between the community and Colony House.
Town and Colony House.
Yeah, Town and Colony House. And they're trying to make amends, trying to make peace. They offer him some alcoholic beverages and such. And then this is when we see crazy ass Sarah doing Sarah things, right? And we see her hurt that man. And I don't want to show that image because last time
we got flagged.
Yeah, YouTube flagged. That's why I probably shouldn't even screenshot the image. That's why I went by it so fast. But we see Sarah commit her first murders. And then we're starting to see what Sarah brings to the table. And I always thought Sarah was an interesting character. And guys, when we talk about what we think about Sarah and a couple other things, I think it's going to blow your mind. But this is the reason why the whole Fatima shit creeped me out. You bring a young child in your bedroom where you and your mans be getting it on. And my man comes up in there. And let's get this comment up there first. I never got why there was such a rift between Colony House and the town folks, especially when we're all in this together, whether you want to believe it or not, because even the situation that happened with Boyd and his wife.
I think that's why there's a rift.
But the thing is, the thing is with that, you guys are in this together. You know what I'm saying? And you guys working together is what's going to get you past this thing. What do y'all think about that? If you were in this show, would you be one of the people advocating for a difference in the two towns and stuff like that?
And it makes me think, are they truly separate? Do they not share the food that they grow with the town? Like, what is,
exactly?
Do they not share resources?
Yes. But then this is when we see Ellis. He comes up in there. He's straight chilling, as a man should be able to. But he's got his shirt off, but he doesn't realize there's a child in his bedroom. And what would have happened had my man Ellis took his doggone pants off and laid in his bed butt naked?
He's the type of dude who doesn't wear underwear.
Why you say that?
Look at him. He looks.
Let me go to him. Let me go back.
Swinging in his jeans.
Yeah, it probably there ain't no good draws. It don't look like he got no draws. It probably ain't no good draws in Colony House.
Those jeans are. He can't. There's no draws out there that will fit him.
Guys,
in his tight jeans.
Yeah, look. Let's put a question in the chat. Does Ellis wear underwear?
He doesn't. Look, ladies, you can attest to this.
Oh my God.
Right? And jeans that small?
Yeah, he ain't. Yeah. Nick said, I thought they did share resources, but
I don't know.
I feel like that was later on in the season when things started to go bad and the town got cold and all that crazy stuff was happening. But going back to this, you got this little girl in your bedroom. Why is this child out of all of the rooms that this child could have been in Colony House? Why is she in your bedroom with you and your man?
Doc is in the house. Hey,
Doc.
He's got a nice
Doc came in to chat with the
Strong.
craziness.
He does, Doc. He does.
And then Nick said, hell no. I guess he's talking about the drawers. He ain't wearing no drawers.
Doc, we gotta know. Do you think he's wearing drawers on?
Yeah, Doc got a great opinion on that. But just the look on his face.
Look, he's waiting to go. He's waiting for Fatima.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, you just ruined my moment."
And then he's like, "Oh, shoot."
Got this child in my room. So then it transitions to Donna, and she's kind of explaining everything, of course. And she's kind of like anybody would be. What are you talking about, right? So then it transitions back. Let's see what Doc is saying. Doc said, "Hey, y'all, dealing with water issues in the house. Don't have the right parts."
He don't want everybody knowing that.
Oh man, we miss you, man.
Probably not,
Doc. And then so they're kind of up in the morning in there, and then we see some of these drawings in the room of Victor, and he's drawing different things.
Okay, so one thing about this show is that I think that they were giving us hints.
They were
all throughout the show because Ethan, while they were working on him before this scene, he was saying it's overlapping on this scene that he in his dream went to the Lake of Tears, and there were pictures all over the wall. He used to draw with crayons, and you see all these pictures on the wall with crayons, and you see Victor with his peaches, and he's just scribbling away making drawings. So again, that thing of like the parallelism, are these people just different versions of each other, like reincarnated versions of each other? Because he's seen this before.
Yes,
right, just like with Elgin seeing this place before. They all have some type of memory of this place, and it manifests in different ways.
It sure does. And like you said, what was Victor drawing? Was he predicting things? And I think he was, because and we'll talk about it for episodes 3 and stuff. And then we see Ethan, he's up, and we can see what Victor was drawing. It looks like he was drawing what occurred.
And wasn't Victor's dad's car yellow when him and Tabitha were driving in it, and they got into a car accident? Remember?
Oh, that could be what he was drawing, and it may not be the Matthews. That's a great damn point, Candace. What do y'all think about this drawing? Was he drawing the Matthews family that got hit in their camper, or is he drawing what's going to happen with him? What eventually happened with him? Not him, but eventually happened with Tabitha and his father when she was in the real world.
Yeah, because these do you guys think these drawings
I'm sorry, I'm not even showing a drawing. My fault, y'all.
Do you think these drawings are clues or just occurrences of what has happened?
Yes. And then Victor's drawing a lot of stuff, and then this is when we see Kenny. He's pretty drunk, and he ends up kind of sleeping on the floor in the Colony House on the stairs. And then this is when we see Sarah. That looks like Sarah. She's cleaning off from what she did, because she had to mutilate that guy so they look like the monsters did it. And this is when we kind of see Mrs. Chen and her husband and the nurse that helps out in there, and she's running because
Sarah left the door open. She took the talisman off the floor.
She took the talisman off
and put it on the floor, and she
opened the door.
She opened the door.
And this was such a sad situation right here. But then it transitions to the Matthews family.
Let's see what Nick said. Nick said, I hope the drawing are something meaningful. We can't have another lost situation. Oh God, here we go with the lost.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Should I tell my lost story real quick?
Go ahead.
So because of this show, I actually binge watched Lost in a week and a half and got to like almost the last season. Like I was watching like 6 episodes a day, because back in the day, TV shows were real TV shows with 20 episodes a season. But I couldn't take it anymore once these people all decided they were going to go back to the damn island. I was losing interest when I found out that they could turn the
island around.
Turn the thing and move the entire island. Then when these people all agreed to go back to the island, I said, I can't do it no more.
Who's agreeing to go back to the island?
Crazy, right? But then this is when we see they go from Colony House to go check on the Jim and them, and everybody survived, and they're incredibly emotional about that. And then this is when Sarah's brother is like, "What happened? What did you do?"
And we kind of, with her monologue, we kind of get an idea of where her head is and why she did it. Talking about the story about the princess and the broken glass and trying to put the pieces together, thinking that there's a puzzle, something's missing, and you're and I get that, but the desperation to go home, there's not enough desperation for me to go home to kill people. Like I just couldn't do it, even if the voices were telling me to do. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I would find that pretty pretty a hard pill to swallow myself. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, guys. Question for the audience: if Sarah had told you what she had done, are you obligated to tell the town what she did?
Absolutely. Because she can put everybody in danger again. Yeah. I'm telling that I am snitching. I'm singing like a bird, even if I was your
Sibling.
Yeah, because you can hurt me.
Yeah. I find that crazy. And then Nick said lost in a week and a half. Bless your
I don't know how he did it. And I kept looking at him like, you sure you want to keep going?
I went hard because the thing was, when it first starts, it draws you in. You're like, what's happening? What's happening in the forest? What's that? What's this? And then at a certain point, it just gets crazy because it's like, do you know where you intended this show to go? And some people even question that about this current show.
But what's interesting about both shows, they're made by the same writers or producers.
There's some same people involved.
Both shows went through filming where there was a writer's strike.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So then that might have had an impact. So then it transitions to Kenny, and he sees what happened to his family, and it's such a sad thing. And then we see him cutting that tree because he's trying to get that emotion out. Boy comes to talk to him.
I don't know the actor's name, but he is one of, like, next to Harold Perrineau, who plays Boyd, is one of the best actors on this show, in my opinion.
What about what? Okay,
there are some good ones. There's some close, but for some reason, going back and watching it, his acting is like top tier.
So guys watching, who is your favorite actor? Not character. Who do you think is the best actor on this show? Because I would have to. Did he have some great moments in season 4? That, like, a lot, season 3, a lot of characters stepped it up in season 3.
Yeah,
him, Julie stepped it up.
Jade did.
Yeah. Victor.
I mean, the acting got really, really good in season 3. Really good. Let's not forget the man in yellow. We did an interview. We interviewed him a couple months ago.
Yeah, we sure did. You got to watch that on the channel. We sure did interview. And then Doc said the 2 finger puppets Ethan plays with are named Norman and Harold. And then boom, yes, he is. She said he's a great actor. And then she said Harold. Yeah, I love Harold too. But I like, man, Victor be doing some amazing acting too, man. Like, I would say you got about 4 that are like right there even to me. Harold, Victor, Jade. Like, Jade be getting down.
Victor is the reason I love his acting. I can imagine it's very hard to play somebody who is childlike in the mind and walk that line between being creepy and, like, kind of innocent. And that is I think that's very hard to portray, you know?
I agree. And then we see the Nikki said Boyd and Kenny. Yep. And then Nick said, can't forget Julie's crazy ass. She be acting.
Especially when I'm not gonna mention it.
And then this was like
really sad.
Because if you remember in the first episode, they panned on that. And then for him to have to now go and wipe that off because there has been an incident. There's been an incident. So now we see that their family, they're trying to get settled in a little bit at Colony House. Julie's kind of trying to cheer him up, and she's playing with those things that she was playing with him with on the thing. And this is when we're introduced to the boy in white, who's going to become a very important person in the show.
Like a spirit guide.
Yeah, he's going to become a very important person.
And we don't even know if he's like a benevolent or a malevolent force.
Yes. Yeah. And then, we're going to find out that Victor, later on in the show, Victor has seen this kid. You know what I'm saying? And Victor said something interesting. He was like, it's been a while. And then since I've seen him. And that is basically when the show, this episode ends. And we get a chance to see the boy in white, and we're left wondering, who is this kid? And then Doc said, best acting, that's tough. Scott, Victor, and probably Harold Boyd. The Saunders couple are great too. But Liz, Donna's Canadian accent comes out sometime. Yeah. And then Kenny's acting is superb. Very hard to pick a best. Yeah. Like they did an amazing job, like with the casting of the show. And honestly, I forgot how much of a masterpiece this season 1 was.
Oh,
it's a masterpiece.
Beautifully shot. The acting, the pacing, the script. It was great. It was
everything about it. Like when I first started watching it, season 1, this time for us to do what we're doing now, I was smiling watching it because it was like I had forgot certain things, but then I was just like, wow, this show was so good. You know what I'm saying? It is so good. And just love it. What are you guys' thoughts? You know what I'm saying about, we got to rate it. And then if you notice, who's in the background with us? He's in the background, and we got something on the wall up there too. Show it what it is. Let's see if we can move it. Can y'all see it? But now we got to rate this episode out of 10 townsmen. And we want to hear from you guys in the comments. Out of 10 townsmen, what would you rate this episode? Leave it in the comments. What would you rate this episode? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
And also leave us a comment. Do you think that Ellis wears drawers? I want to know what you guys think.
Oh my God. You gonna make me go back to the picture.
He wears those like really tighty whitey ones. Not the tighty whities, like the ones that kind of go up the butt crack, and it's like, okay, bye.
We gotta rate the episode. How many townsmen would you give it?
This episode got 5 for me.
Out of 10?
5 out of 5.
No, we're going out of 10.
That's too many.
All right. Okay, so you gave it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Doc said 9. So we gotta go out of 10 because the people rate.
Well, 9. 9.5.
Leave it in the comments. What would you rate this episode? For myself, I'm going high. Doc said 5 out of 5 as well. Like, I'm going high with this one because they did a good job of quickly showing us who everybody kind of was in one episode. Like, you literally got a chance. You figured out who Julie was. We started to figure out who Tabitha was. They're showing us who Victor is. You know what I'm saying? They're showing us who Donna is. All of these people, they're quickly introducing all of these people to us so quickly. We find out about how people react in the Colony House. Some of the members in the Colony House. We find out that there's these monsters here, know their names. It was something that we find out how Christy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they give us a lot of who these people are in one episode so quickly that you can also the other thing too is everybody's able to identify with somebody in the show. Everybody's able to identify. And then Nick said she gave it an 8. They gave it an 8. And then last question, and before we end this, like when you were watching this show, and I want you to go back to not since you've seen all 3 seasons, right? Going 2 episodes in, who do you most relate with so far in the show? Like, when you were brand new and you were watching this show, who was the person that you resonated with quickly the most? Was there anybody that you resonated with like quickly the most?
It was Kenny.
Really?
And I say that because Kenny, just trying to in an impossible situation, Kenny just seems like he was just trying to find a way to be helpful and to bring order and to bring stability. He was good at following orders and teachable and was full of heart and care for people, especially for his parents. And I recognize that in myself.
Yep. Yeah, and Jay, I'm sorry, Doc said Jay. You know, I can see Kenny. I could also like
No, I see you as more of either a Donna or a Boyd.
A Donna or a Boyd. That's interesting.
Yeah. Who do you think Jameson would be?
Who like
Ellis.
shirt off, walking around shirt off all the time.
Walking around with his shirt off.
Oh, the doctor can't recall her name. Christy. Nick said Christy. She also said Jim and Jay because why is nobody trying to figure out what is going on and getting out? Yeah. Yeah. Eventually, like I think a lot of people started to feel like Jay as time went on. And then she said maybe because I'm in the medical field. Nick,
right.
Nick. That's interesting. Yeah, I could definitely see that because she's helpful. I'm trying to think who I most resonated with, like initially. I would say probably Boyd, initially, but then I started to shift a little bit when episode 3 came. But we want to thank you all for watching and checking us out. And like I said, next Sunday we'll be discussing episode 3. We're going to try to drop a midweek video as well to talk about something. But we appreciate you guys joining us. You know, we love talking about this show. We love chopping it up with you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment on the video after it's done going live so that people can see it. Guys, share us. Share us with a friend. If you know somebody that watches the show, I tried to post this video in some From groups, but a lot of the From groups, like you got to get approval from the administrator. So I don't even know if they approved it and stuff like that. Initially, Jim and Jay. And then they said, good night. Thanks. Sweet nightmares. But share us. You know what I'm saying? If you know somebody that's into the show, share the video with them. Share the channel because we're close to 3,000 viewers. I mean, subscribers. And that would be a great milestone for us to reach to get 3,000.
That would be great.
Thank you all for watching.
And stick with us when we have these other videos coming up. We're talking about the Immortal Universe. We're going to talk about Interview with the Vampire and the Talamasca. And when season 3 of Interview, so basically we're going to do the same thing that we're doing now. I'm introducing Patrick to Interview with the Vampire episode by episode, and we're going to break down. And I'm going to ask him some questions. I'm going to see how he feels. You know, give him a little history, with the Interview with the Vampire. So please look. We're going to be doing season 1, episode 1, In the Throes of Wonder, or whatever it's called.
And look forward to that video in a couple days. So thank you guys for watching, and our watch is ended for tonight. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.